So let's the missing part of the unit 2, right? It was this poison plastic, our plastic planet, a planet from the Hawaiian beaches of the coast of Britain. We are paying a little price for our throwaway society, says the TV adventurer Simon Reeve. Yeah. Let's read together. I'm going to start reading this introduction. Hawaii is generally considered to be one place in the world where you should be able to guarantee finding paradise. The beautiful tropic island have been used as the setting for countless TV series, films, ranging from the lost Jurassic Park, isolated in the middle of the vast Pacific Ocean. Distance alone should protect Hawaii's spectacular landscapes and turquoise sea from the environmental problems facing the rest of the planet. We have here, so when I arrive, please, Saul, can you continue? When I arrive?
Yes, teacher. When I arrived in Hawaii, I was staggered to discover beaches covered in plastic rubbish washed up from around the world. Pristine sand was covered by old plastic toothbrushes, combs, shoes, belts, and moldings. Sam Gon, a Hawaiian conversationist, took me to one beach where 70 local volunteers were doing their best to remove tons of garbage. But as soon as it was cleaned, the waves dumped another mountain of rubbish.
Yeah, another mountain of rubbish. Thank you, sir. Candy, the large pieces of waste.
Yes, teacher. And the large piece of waste can be collected by hand. But when Sam and I drove to our new neighborhood, I could see the surface of the beach was covered with millions of small plastic packets known as noodles. These are the raw material factories from the infinity numbers of plastic products that fill our lives. There are dozens of, of factories into our seas in three trillions, in their trillions.
In their trillions. Yes, continue. Twin.
Jesse being such calm when Sam told me the thing in the sand. Plastic doesn't degrade. Instead, it's break down in even smaller pieces. Among and
Among the grains of sand.
yes, teacher. Among the grains and sands were million and tiny plastic fields, which the point of the sand was rising inside. As a dog threw the plastic, I realized the sandy beach was beginning transforming into the plastic beach that she went to down.
Went down my spine. No, he's describing basically those pictures. As you can see, small plastic pellets, those are nodules. Yeah, those are the nodules. And over there, he's describing everything. He was spine like he was frozen. No, Saul from the beaches of Hawaii.
Boy, teacher. From the beaches of Hawaii to the seas around Britain, we are soiling our own nest. It was a shock to realize how much British beaches have changed since I was a child, playing on beautiful coastlines in Dorset and South Wales. Just like those in Hawaii, they are now covered in more litter than ever before.
Yeah, litter rubbish. Since 1994, plastic litter has increased by an extraordinary 140%. The plastic we see on our beaches is just a fraction of plastic waste that is clogging our oceans. Incredibly, all the plastic ever created, totaling hundreds of millions of tons, is still out there in the environment of some form. There are estimated 600,000 plastic containers dumped overboard by ships every single day. Can you continue, please, Katie? 9 million.
Yes, teacher. 9 million tons of plastic enter our seas every year, which means that by 2025 there will be around 150 million tons of this flowing around, and ever more unbelievable, by 2050 the oceans will contain more plastic by having than fish. The scale of the problem is extraordinary. The beaches in Hawaii are being swamped by reaching from the green plastic garbage patch, a vast accumulation of the world plastic debris floating in the Pacific Ocean. Twice the size of France, the Granby Beach is like a plastic shop sea, in the sea, and the doubling in size each decade.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Continue, Candy.
And just the truth. And this is not the only source, but scientists believe the sea current had created five vast swirling garbage patches in our ocean, including a over
Huge,
one sorry
huge.
huge, huge on the North Atlantic with up to 520 million bits of rubies per square mile. This is an international scandal and global problem for which we are all responsible.
520,000 bits. What about factories? It says factories produce more plastic in the first decade of the 21st century than in the entire 20th century. This is because of the overpopulation and the use of plastic in factories, and it's people's fault basically. Saul, from bicycle helmets.
From bicycle helmets to food packaging, from wire bottles to toothbrushes, plastic makes our lives easier, but its production and use are completely out of control. Factories produced more plastic in the first decade of 21st century than in the entire 20th century, because tiny fragments of plastic in our oceans are so small and look like food. They are being gobbled up by small fish, which in turn are eaten by larger fish, which in turn are eaten by us.
Plastic is ruining our beaches, choking the oceans, and poisoning our food uh, change. The consequences are still fully understood, but they are likely to be devastating. We need to spurn and reject the main culprits: uh, plastic bags, and packaging, and single-use water bottles. Wasteful obscenity. This makeup of bulk plastic garbage. What about in Bangladesh? Can you?
Yes, teacher. In Bangladesh and Kenya, They had done away with plastic bags completely and replaced them with natural jute bags. The UK has joined the growing number of countries which impose a tax on plastic bags, and the small town of Monbury has banned them completely. Supermarkets around the world are beginning to introduce plastic-free aisles, where none of the goods on sale are packed in plastic. A step in the future of beaches or sea and the food chain, it is nothing short an environment emergency.
Environmental emergency. Yes, as you can see here, the seal, yeah, La Foca, the seal is asking for help. Sometimes animals, wild animals like him, like it happens the same, no? Because of the this rubbish, this litter is not only plastic but other products, and they get trapped, and sometimes they die in the middle of ocean, and we don't know. Yeah, and if you see over there, that's the vast swirling garbage. It's like a long, huge island around the Pacific Ocean. Yeah? The Western rubbish patch and the Eastern rubbish patch. Okay, obviously there are some words that you may not know. You can use your dictionary. Yeah, you can use your dictionary in order to know them. Who is Simon? Who is Simon Reeve? Well, he is the person from here. He's a TV adventurer. No, he's a TV adventurer. Which products from the list one are mentioned? Well, all products. No, I would say. Which of your ideas about inline two were correct and were not? Which places in the world are mentioned? Which places in the world are mentioned? Do you remember?
Hawaii.
Hawaii. What else? Only Hawaii? Mhm.
Bangladesh and Kenya.
Bangladesh, Kenya, and the UK. No? The UK as well. What are nordals? Well, here literally these pearls, kind of pearls, they are nordals because of the sea water. They transform into nordals. Yeah. Okay, you are going to read again. I'll give you some time only to do this activity. True or false? It's all according to the text. Okay, it's all according to the text. True or false? Because we need to do other things. Yeah, 7 minutes. So it's 3:20. At 3:27, I will check together. Okay, I'll give you some time. I'll share the photo on the group, so you know you can have it. Saul.
Yes, teacher, thank you. Yes, teacher.
Saul, the first one, please. Can you read it and tell us if it's true or false?
Hawaii is protected from rubbish because of its position in the Pacific Ocean. False, no?
Okay, false. It is correct, false. Why?
Because there are rubbish there. Is rubbish.
Yeah, there is rubbish. It isn't protected. Mhm. Next, girls, can you read it, please? 3 and
Yes,
4.
teacher. Volunteers clear the Northern from the beach. I think it's false because in the Northeast there are material for the factories used for the infinite number of the plastic produced, and dumping out in the seams.
Okay, exactly. And the next one, Katie, I don't know if Candy or Katie talk.
Yes, I'm Candy. The tree. The sea makes the Norlays small and smaller. I think it's true.
Indeed, it is true. Thank you. By 2025, 600,000 tons of plastic rubbish will be polluting our seas. True or false, guys?
False, false.
Yeah, false.
False.
Exactly. It's already, no? Polluting. It's already polluting. Number 5, Saul, factories.
Factories are reducing the amount of plastics they produce. False, no?
Let's see if you are correct. Yes, it is false. They aren't reducing. Why not?
Because we need the plastics in our lives.
Yeah, we need but they are not reducing according to the text. Okay, we'll check it in a moment then. Candy, the next one.
Yes, teacher. There are three major ways that plastic is ruining of planet. I think it's true.
True. Yes, it is true. Next, Katie.
Make of the plastic bags, bottle, and the packing. I think is true.
Indeed, it is true. And finally, Bangladesh and Modbury have something in common. True or false? What is it? True or false, guys?
Pleasure, teacher.
Uh,
I
Thank you.
think it's true.
It is true. Yeah, they have something. They have reduced the use of plastic. Okay, that's all for the reading part. For extra homework, you can match the words and vocabulary. It's number 7. Yeah, this part, number 7, you do it for homework. Yeah, the same. It is about vocabulary. Okay, let's move on with this, the bucket list. Um, this part. I'm going to skip this part. Oh no, we can do it together. Yeah, here this part. This is the bucket list. What is the bucket list? How is the phrase connected with the idiom kick the bucket? Well, a bucket list is a list of experiences or achievement a person hopes to have or to have done during their lifetime. Yeah, during the lifetime. To kick the bucket is an idiomatic expression for dying. A bucket list includes things to do before you die. Yeah. Sometimes we have wishes, hopes at certain age. No, for example, by 40, I'll be visiting Europe with my family. No, in my case. So always, I guess in my case, it's one of my dreams, it's one of my wishes to visit other country with my family. Mhm. Look at the bucket list. If you see here, this is the Aurora Borealis, or this is the the northern lights, because they happen. It's a phenomenon, natural phenomenon that happens in the North Pole. Yeah, in Canada, in Norway, Finland, Russia, and other countries. Yeah, northern lights that are called. Even they are green. In Spanish, aurora borealis. Here, what about this girl? What she doing? What is she doing?
Snorkel.
Indeed, yeah. What about letter C?
Dancing.
Dancing, of course. Letter D, Candid Katie.
Maybe donut one.
Yeah, blood donation or blood transfusion. Yeah. Letter E. What are those things? It starts with T. Yeah.
In a zip line, no?
Zip line. Yeah, exactly. Zip line or tiroless. I think it's the same. And finally, what is this activity? What is that activity?
Yoga.
Probably yoga, meditating. No? Have you ever tried some of them? Have you ever done some of them?
No, teacher, never.
Never.
No, not teacher.
Not yet. Okay. Me, I've learned how to dance a bit, just a bit, and I've done snorkeling. Sorry, I never donated blood. I've done kind of tireless zip line, but it was just short, and the rest I haven't done. Here, things to do before I die. Yeah, swimming with the dolphins. We have lots of activities over there. Go zip lining, zip lining. Go skydiving, do a road trip across America, walk on the Great Wall of China. Lots of activities before you die. Okay, we're going to hear people talking about those activities. Yeah, listen to three people, Helen, Keith, and Judy, and you have to choose the one that they would like to, or the one that they've done. Yeah, the one that they have done.
2.4 Doing the bucket list. 1. Helen.
They've
Obviously, this person is not going to mention literal, like, yeah, I have done donated blood, no, I have done this. He or she will be describing.
always fascinated me. So a couple of years
2.4 Doing the bucket list. 1. Helen.
they've always fascinated me. So a couple of years ago, I booked a trip to the north of Norway and stayed in a tree house. Well, a kind of tree hotel, really, and went sledding with husky dogs. That was actually 3 bucket list items in one trip for me. And I did worry beforehand about whether I'd actually get to see them. I mean, it's difficult not to when you go all that way, pay all that money, and, well, it's very possible they won't show up at all while you're there. So when we got there, it was so cold. I know that sounds silly, going up to the Arctic Circle and complaining about it being cold. But, I've never experienced cold like that before. It was -25. But anyway, it was worth it because, well, the first 2 nights were disappointing, nothing. But then I felt so lucky. I saw them the next 2 nights, and they really are so beautiful. an amazing shimmering curtain that goes from a greeny to a kind of purpley red colour. And an interesting thing is that not everyone hears it, but they make a sound as well, a sort of buzzing noise. It's the most incredible experience I've ever had. Life-changing, really. It filled me with awe and wonder about the universe.
2. Keith.
I've been thinking of doing it for years now, because I know they're short of people, and, well, I'm glad I've finally done it. And it was an interesting experience. I was anxious on the way there because, well, you hear stories of people passing out, which would be so embarrassing, and, you see, I am a bit squeamish. So I thought of turning back at one point, but in I went, and, well, it was fine. They took a tiny drop first for testing. I wanted to make the classic joke and say, "Is that it? Can I go now?" And then they put one of those things on your arm, like when you have your blood pressure checked and look for a vein. I looked away at that point. I mean, why would anyone want to see the needle going in? It's fine when it does. It's just a short, sharp pain, and then they leave you while the machine takes it out. I didn't want to watch the bag filling up either because, you know, 3/4 of a pint does look like a lot of blood to lose. So I closed my eyes and waited for the beeping sound when the machine's finished. It was about 8 minutes, but it seemed much longer. And then, of course, I got tea and biscuits. And, well, I think I'll do it again because, well, it has made me feel better about myself.
3. Judy.
I've always fancied the idea, so when our hotel in Spain said they could organise it, and it was pretty cheap, I went for it. It was cancelled first time because of the wind, which was a drag, but the weather was fine 2 days later. I was really nervous before takeoff. That's the worst bit, really, because, well, it's the last chance to say, "I've changed my mind, can I get off?" And, well, part of me really wanted to do that. I was like, why am I choosing to fall to the ground at 180 kilometres an hour? Still, once we were off, it was easier, although the 7-minute climb seemed to last forever. And getting to where you jump out was freaky, because I mean I'm used to walking down the aisle on planes, but it's a shock to see this, like, massive hole where the door usually is. But we jump straight out and, well, you get 60 seconds of free fall, and that is totally amazing. It's like a massive rush of air, and the ground is like spinning, and I literally forgot to breathe. And then your shoulders suddenly get pulled back as the chute opens, and then it's suddenly really quiet, and you're floating through the sky. It's an incredible feeling, as if you've escaped your life completely. So, would I do it again? Hell yeah, I definitely will. It's made everyday life seem a bit dull.
Okay, so what about Helen? Helen Keller, what is she describing? What is she describing? Which activity are they talking about, guys? Hello, over there.
And Candy, I think she described see the North Lines.
Northern Lights, yes, indeed. Keith? Keith? Okay. No, Saul? The other twin? Judy, what about Judy?
The Judy, maybe she described the zero gravity.
Zero gravity. Okay, let's find out. Yeah, she is. Helen, you were right. Northern Lights. She's always fascinated. No, they've always fascinated her. It was incredible, life-changing. Keith is about a native plant. Mhm. Thinking. She is always thinking of doing it for years. No, he's been thinking of doing it for years. He's glad he's done it. It made him feel better about himself. And Judy is about skydiving. She's always fancy the idea of the hotel she was staying in Spain offered the activity, and it was quite cheap. It was incredible and made everyday life seem dull. About skydiving, not zero gravity. All right.
Because no zero gravity, or no?
Yeah, instead of zero gravity, no, it was skydiving. You know what is skydiving?
Hi, teacher.
No, never. When you jump from a plane and parachuting, here in Tequesquitengo, you can do it. If you have the possibility to do it, then do it. Okay, we won't have time to revise the next page, so I want you to do the next page for tomorrow. I will share the audios and the web and the page, so you can do it, and it's going to be for classroom. Yeah, so try to do it, please. Make and do activity 1, activity 3, and activity 4. Only the 4 first activities. Yeah, the 4 first activities. 5 and 6 we revise it here. Okay,
Yes.
I will share this to classroom as long as well the audios. Okay, don't forget. Have a nice weekend.